Something that Amazon sellers are asking all the time is what types of criteria should they be looking for in their products that they're reselling on Amazon. In this video, I'm going to break down the exact criteria that we look for in my business and give you some general guidelines to follow when figuring out what's going to be best for your business. Let's go ahead and jump right in and figure out this criteria. So there are some general guidelines that you want to follow. If you're a newer seller, I think that you should be targeting higher ROI products. I always recommend that beginners shoot for at least 50% return on their investment. In my business, we're shooting for a minimum of a 20% return on investment. That's pretty low in comparison to what I recommend for newer sellers. We have a lot more capital available. We're spending a lot more money, and it just makes sense for us to accept lower returns and spend that money rather than it just sitting in the bank or sitting in available credit. We're taking a 20% return versus a no percent return essentially. As a beginner, I believe you should shoot for at least 50. One, because you most likely have less money available, and you need to make sure that every dollar you're spending is going to those higher ROI products. That way you're going into that snowball and you're really growing your capital as fast as you possibly can. The other reason is, as a new seller, you are much more likely to make mistakes. You're not as familiar with the data. You don't know what things to watch out for. So that 50% might end up only being like 30%, 25%. And you want to have that buffer. You want to be shooting for at least 50 and being okay with the lower if it ends up happening. But in my business, I'm okay with the 20% because I've been doing this for almost 3 years and I have a really good sense for what the data is, and I know that my 20% return is probably guaranteed. It might dip down a little bit, I might miss something here and there, but for the most part it's going to be a guaranteed 20% plus return on my investment. You should also strive to have a minimum profit that you're going to take. Whenever I first started out, I was going to Dollar Tree and getting items for $1, flipping them for $7. Let's say I made $1 profit. That's 100% ROI. That's incredible, but at the end of the day, it's only $1. Don't get me wrong, Dollar Tree is great. I recommend it all the time. It's really great to go in there, get your feet wet, learn the systems, grow your capital because it is a good ROI, but you're only making $1 at a time. So eventually, at some point in your business, once you've learned the things, once you're looking to start to grow more, you want to have a higher dollar profit minimum. In my business, we do $4.25. You need to figure out what this is for you. Make sure that you're taking into account all of your costs, your poly bags, any kind of prep supplies you have, tax if you have to pay it. Make sure you have all of that counted for whenever you're looking at your minimum dollar amount profit. We also look for a minimum number of sales. Some sellers will go as low as 5-10 sales a month. Some want to see at least 100-200 sales per month. In my business, I tell my team to strive for at least 20 sales per month. Ideally, this is showing the potential for us to be able to capture 20 sales per month. So we're targeting higher volume listings. We're not looking at listings that are just selling 20 times a month, ideally. We will go down lower if the criteria is good, but we're wanting to see that we have the potential to be able to sell 20 units a month if we're staying in stock on this. My business model is also a little bit unique. This is a method that I like to preach to everybody, and it's going wide nut. On our initial test orders, we're just getting about 3 to 5 units. The listing might be able to sell 200-300 times a month. We're still describing a small test order initially and then expanding from there. I recommend that you do the same. It's also important to watch out for Amazon being on the listing. We're going to go into some Keepa charts here in just a moment, so make sure you stick around where I'll show you all this and how to read the data to watch out for what I'm saying. But as a newer seller, I would recommend that you just stay away from listings where you're going to have to compete with Amazon. As you grow, as you get some more experience and learn how to read the Keepa better, then you can start to hop on those listings and compete with Amazon. But as a new seller, I would recommend that you just stay away from it. In my business, we're okay with Amazon being on there as long as we're seeing proof of them sharing the buy box, or we can profitably undercut their lowest historical price and still make a profit. Those are the main things that you want to watch out for when setting your criteria. There are other things like minimum number of FBA sellers, or perhaps you need to look at if it's meltable or hazmat or things like that. For the most part, you can stick to those main criteria. Hopefully that was helpful. Let's go ahead and jump into some actual products so that you can see what I'm talking about. So this product that we're looking at here is a Nike hat. I don't know what it costs, but let's just say it was about 15 bucks. And I'm going to look here at the data. I see it meets my $4.25 profit minimum, meets my ROI minimum. We're good there. Next, I want to go down and look at the Keepa. And if anyone's unfamiliar with this tool here that I'm using, it's called RevSeller. It's super helpful for your online arbitrage calculation. It's my favorite one to use. There are a few others, but I'll link this one down below. This tool is absolutely necessary. You need to read Keepa. You need to understand how to dive into the Keepa charts. I'll link a video up above to help you with that. Basically, it's showing us all the history for this product on Amazon. What I like to do is I want to look for kind of the lowest historical price over the last 90 days. And I'm seeing that it pretty consistently sells for $28, more recently $30 to $35, but I would want to be able to sell this for like $28 to $29 profitably. So it's a little bit low there on my criteria. I could consider this product, but it is a little bit low on my profit based on the lowest average. You know, I would probably want to pass just because it doesn't meet my net profit. If it met some other criteria, like it was really easy to buy and get a ton of, I might go ahead and get on that. Besides that, we see the green line shows the sales rank. It looks like it's selling quite rapidly. The new offer count's going down, which is good. Review count up, which is good. All this looks good, and I would say that this is a pretty solid product if we could buy it profitably. Next up, we have this wood vent cover. Again, I don't know what this costs. I'm gonna guess it would be around $18, $19. Let's say that were the case, then it's gonna meet my net profit. It's gonna meet my ROI. And let's see. However, the sales look pretty slow. If you're new to Keepa, when the green line drops, that means that a sale happened. Let's just look at the last month. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Looks like it sells roughly 10 times per month, but that's for the whole listing. This is a variation listing. So really between all the variations, the colors and the sizes, the whole listing is only selling 10 times per month. We could dive deeper to see, you know, which variation is getting the most sales. But right off the bat, I would just say this whole listing is only getting 10 sales per month. We should probably just pass because while the profit's there, the return on investment is there. We're not getting any sales. And if we're not going to sell the product, then it's not worth it. Next up, we have this walnut coffee cake. I again don't know what it costs. I'm gonna guess a cake is $14. If that were the case, then we have good profit, good return on investment. Right here, I see a good stability in the price and the sales, which is good. Looks like it has really good velocity right now, which is awesome. One thing I note here is a pretty flat buy box line. Anytime that's the case, I want to go to buy box statistics and make sure that there is rotation happening. And I do see it's just going between a few sellers, but I would have no problem hopping on this with the test order. And yeah, absolutely, I would hop on this. It sells crazy good. It meets my profit. It meets my ROI. I would say this is a good product to buy. This product here is a costume. Let's say we got this right after Halloween on 75% off and it was only like $6. So then we have really insane ROI, really solid profit. But let's scroll down and we have to make sure that it's selling and that we're not competing with Amazon. Amazon's not on the listing because there's no orange shading, so we're good there. But I am very concerned with the velocity on this listing. You can see back here it was ranked really good, but we don't see a lot of velocity since. I mean, guess, yep. So this product sold really good during Halloween, but then it doesn't sell very good for the rest of the year. So I would say at this point, we probably should not be sending in this product because it's just going to take a really long time to sell. We're seeing really slow velocity as a whole, and that's for the whole listing. We could even dive deeper. We should dive deeper to see the velocity on this variation. But for now, I would say that we need to just skip on this one. One more product here, we have this toy. Sometimes you can find these at like Dollar Tree for $1, so let's assume that's the case. Or I think they're like $1.25 now. And we want to enroll this in small and light. If you don't know what small and light is, I have a video that breaks it down. It's essentially a way to get reduced fees on Amazon for your cheap and small items. I can link that down below. And so we know it meets our ROI. It's a little bit low on profit, but this is a case where I would be willing to break that because I know this item's just going to require a quick sticker and it's a really good ROI. So I would go ahead and hop on this, even though it is a little bit below my profit criteria. Pretty good buy box stability. I would want to profitably be able to sell this for $8 if I'm going to hop on it, which I think that's the case. And then we see pretty good velocity on the sales rank drops here. We see new offer count going down and reviews going up and no orange shading. So that means Amazon's not on the listing. We don't have to worry about competing with them. This product checks all of my criteria, so I would go ahead and purchase this. I hope that gives you a really good understanding of what criteria to look for in your Amazon FBA business. Let me know down below if you have any questions. Let me know what your criteria is that you're looking for. Thanks for watching. We'll see you on the next one.